Good morning and welcome to my kitchen. I have a couple of super ripe bananas, so let's make some gluten-free pancakes. I love to make these because then once they're cool, I put them in Ziploc bags and put them in my freezer. My name is Monica Levin and I am a registered holistic nutritionist and an inner guidance communication coach. So what does your inner guidance say? Does it tell you to avoid wheat or not? Regardless, these muffins are fantastic. So let's go ahead and do this. As you can see, it's a different view from the last video. Do you like this view better? Feels more natural to me because it's where I normally do my cooking. All right, so we take a couple of extra ripe bananas and put them in a bowl. Let's see. Nice bruising, but that's okay. The bruises are sweet. When my kids were little, I convinced them it was the best part of the banana. Am I a cruel mother? I've been to a lot of houses that don't have one of these. It is just a potato masher. I think it's also called a potato ricer. I don't know why, because it doesn't have anything to do with rice. So if you know, put a comment in the chat below. So anyway, you can always find them at the local dollar store. It's my favorite place to shop. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to mash these up, and then we're going to add eggs and oil, rice flour, guar gum, and a little bit of oil, and some leavening. So I'm trying not to make too much noise because the noise ricochets. Okay, I give up. I'm going to make some noise. There we go. I always seem to buy too many bananas. I always think I'm going to eat them, and then somehow I don't. But I love bananas in the form of these pancakes. That's for sure. Okay, here we go. Our mashed bananas. And we're going to add 3 eggs because banana goop. If I have 1 banana, I only use 1.5 cups of rice flour. But when I have 2 bananas, I use 2 cups. So let's do 2 cups. And we put in 1, 2, and 3. 3 eggs. And let's put in 1/3 cup of oil. Some people don't even put in oil when there are all these bananas, but my intuition tells me to. So let's follow my intuition. And we don't have a set amount of water because different rice flours absorb different amounts of water. So we're just going to wing it. I have a nice glass of water here. I'll just pour half of it in there. And then we're going to add the rice flour, to which we add some guar gum. This helps make it smoother. Is my video doing something weird? So 1 teaspoon of guar gum. Let's do 1.5 tablespoons of baking powder. No, not 1.5 tablespoons, 1.5 teaspoons, or half a tablespoon. And a sprinkle of salt. Oh, just like that. Can you see the salt? There we go. And a bit of vanilla. I would say around a teaspoon of vanilla. I pull out my whisk. I already turned on the stove so that my 2 pans are ready. I mix it up. And now I add the flour mixture. When I was a kid and we used to go to New York to visit my family, my dad's family, if my Uncle Lou was there, he would always make us pancakes. And see, much too thick. And he would give us a choice. Do you want thick pancakes or thin pancakes? We choose different kinds depending on the day. All that to say that if you like them thinner, just add more water. If you like them thicker, add less water. I'll show you in a moment the way I like them. I don't like them too thin because I like to eat them with some almond butter on top and all fruit jam. That way it can give me some protein. But once in a while I just want them with maple syrup, and I like them thicker. So here we go. See this consistency? It's a great consistency for thick pancakes. And when you make your pancakes, don't cook them in oil. They taste yucky. Cook them in butter. Even though I have nonstick pans, I always add some butter. Oh, I don't have much butter in my butter dish. But it's enough for the moment. Turn on the lights so that you can see a little bit even though we're far away. I put butter in 4 spots on my larger pan, 3 spots in my smaller one. And I pour on the 4 pancakes. So again, 3 pancakes on the other pan. I'm thinking maybe I should have made them a bit thicker, but they're still going to be great. When they get more solid, I'll show you in a moment, that's when you flip them. And then you touch them to see if they spring or if they feel liquidy. And when they're done, you put them on a cooling rack. You're going to want them on a cooling rack because if you stack them on top of each other, they kind of stick together because rice flour is not the same as wheat flour. You want to cool them completely on the rack or eat them immediately, which is always a good option. And once they're cooled on the rack completely, then you can stack them, put them in Ziploc bags and freeze them. Okay, I'm going to pause the video and we're going to come back when they're a little bit more solid and I'll show you. Okay, while they cooked for a couple of minutes, I filled up my butter dish, so I'm ready for more. And I wanted to show you what they look like. So if you look, let's see if you can see the angle. They look kind of dry and cooked around the edges, and that's when you flip them over. And see how nice and golden brown they are? So I'm going to flip them all over, and then we'll come back when they're cooked. It's only been a minute, but they are cooked. I'll show you. See how nice and golden brown they are? And when you touch them, they spring, they're solid. So now I take them out and I put them on my cooling rack. And I'm going to keep cooking them until they're all finished. And again, once they're cool, you can take them out and stack them up and put them in a Ziploc bag and freeze them. But do not stack them when they're still hot, unless they're already on your plate, with some almond butter and all fruit jam or maple syrup. Having been born in Canada, maple syrup is my go-to most of the time. Thanks for joining me, and I hope you enjoy making these gluten-free pancakes. If you have any suggestions on how you stay gluten-free or wheat-free, put them in the chat. Talk to you soon.